Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Morgan and I'm so happy to welcome you to Makeup by Morgan. So a little bit about myself. I'm a dance major in college and I love doing makeup. So I decided to create this channel for a couple of reasons. The first being that, it just gives me a reason to do my makeup even though I'm not going anywhere in quarantine. Second, as a dancer at home, I don't really get to do dances full out as I would like to, but makeup you can do as full as you want from home. And the final reason is, as a college student, I have to do my makeup on a budget, and I feel like a lot of you could probably relate to that. So I'm going to be using some cheaper drugstore, products than a lot of the makeup artists that you'll see. So for today's video, I actually had another video planned, but after the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg recently, I decided to do a different video because I wanted to do a little bit of a tribute to her. So I have this lipstick here, which is called Notorious R.B.G. If you can see that, sorry about the lighting. It's from the brand, sorry about the lights, Lipslut. And so I'm going to be creating a look around this lipstick today. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but since this is kind of a pinky berry shade, I'm thinking playing with some berries and then maybe a little bit of a pop of blue for the Democrats. So let's get started. Okay, so starting off, I'm gonna go straight in with concealer. I know that's kind of different from a lot of the makeup videos, but I don't typically do foundation on an everyday basis. I feel like just as a dancer, for one, I want my skin to breathe some more. And then, I'm on a budget. I don't have time to, buy a bunch of foundation all the time. And I also have a limited schedule, so I don't really want to spend extra time on that. So I just kind of put my concealer everywhere. Under my eyes, chin, nose, and forehead. And this is the Revlon Candid Concealer in the shade Light Pale, which is 015. So after I take that, I have this little makeup sponge. I think it's the brand Beauty 360, which is CVS's makeup brand. So that's where I got this. And then I'm just going to blend it. So after concealer, I like to go straight in with a powder. This is the Maybelline Super Stay, and it is the shade Fair Porcelain 102. So I take this on just a big brush. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly where I got this one. I can't remember. Actually, I think my grandmother gave it to me, so I'm not sure where she got it. So first I just take that all over the face. And then after I've gone all over the face, I like to take this smaller brush. This one I believe is a Sonia Kashuk. I got it from Target. So I take the same powder, and then I just like to go in my T-zone. So I go under my eyes, on my nose, chin, and forehead. So basically just everywhere that I put the concealer, I just go over that with a smaller brush. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild bronzer Oh no, it doesn't, oh, Ticket to Brazil is the shade. So it has like a little bit of a gold shimmer to it. And then I like to take it on just like this big brush. This is also a Sonia Kashuk. It's also from Target. And for the bronzer, I pretty much do just like a bunch of small circular motions, a few little swipes to get it right into the hairline. Okay. Then we're going to contour a little bit. So I have this little angled brush. I'm not positive where I got this. I think I was given it by someone, so I'm sorry about that. So now I'm taking the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. You can see I use this a lot because I have totally hit pan on it. So I'm just gonna dip into that. And again, I work this to make sure that there's no line. I mean, it's called a hairline, but you don't want to have a makeup line there. And then I just do a tiny bit on the jawline. Okay, so then I put this brush away, and then I take this little brush. It's actually an eyeshadow brush, but it has a little angle to it. It's a little unicorn horn. And I dip that back into the butter bronzer, and then I just kind of take this to contour my nose. So first, when I do this, I just kind of start up at the eyebrow and bring it down like in a line on the side of my nose, and then after that I kind of blend by bringing it down my nose. Okay, so for blush, I'm going to go in and take this brush. I think it might be Sonia Kashuk. I know I definitely got it at Target. And then I'm taking this Milani Baked Blush, and the shade Berry Amour, which is number 3. I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of a berry shade with some gold to it. And I just kind of swirl it on my cheeks right above where I put the bronzer and the contour, and I make sure that I blend those together. Okay, so keeping the blush out, I'm going to take another one of my unicorn brushes, and then I'm going to go into the Urban Decay Mother of Dragons Game of Thrones little highlight palette. Oops. And then I'm going to take this middle shade, which is Viserion. And I'm just going to highlight with that. And then I just take a tiny bit on the tip of my nose and then down the center of my nose. And then just a tiny bit on my cupid's bow. And then, like I said, I still have the blush out. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit, I'm just going to tap it in there like once, and then just make sure that the highlight is blended with the blush. Okay, moving on to eyebrows, I'm going to use this Maybelline Tattoo Studio brow gel, and it is in the shade Blonde, and it came with a little spoolie here. So first, I'm just going to brush my eyebrow hairs up, get them into the shape that I want, and then I'm going to take the gel. It's kind of like similar to the packaging of the concealer, so it comes out on a little wand like this, and then I just kind of wipe all the extra product off on the side, because I do not want to have crazy Sharpie brows. Okay, now that I've wiped some of the product off, I'm going to start here on the darker part, and then I'm going to go up to my arch, and then I'm going to super lightly put a little bit on the inside, the very lower part, and then I'll use the spoolie to blend it all out. Okay, so that's just the lower part. And I go up to the arch. And I take it down the tail of my brow. And then I just take a tiny bit and just kind of dab it right there. So I create a little bit of a line. And then I'll close this up. And then while it's still wet, I take the spoolie to blend everything. I really like this brow product because I used to use like 3 different products. I would use a pomade and then a pencil and then a gel, but this just does all of it for me at once. It gets all of the color in, and then it also stays in place once it dries. Okay, so that is one eyebrow done. And then I'll do the exact same thing on the other eye. Okay, so both of the eyebrows are done. I think they came out pretty well, but if you make any mistakes, then I just take a little flat brush like this, and then just put a little bit of concealer on it, and you can use it to shape the brow. I'm going to start with the Anastasia, which one is this? The Jackie Aina palette. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. I will double check after. So this is what the inside looks like. And I'm just going to take the shade, oh, I didn't even realize that. It's called Supreme, which is perfect for an RBG look. So I'm gonna take this pink shade, Supreme, and put it in my crease. So I'm just taking the brush that all the Anastasia palettes come with. So I'm just gonna tap it in here. And I'm just gonna do circular motions starting in the outer corner, coming in through just in my crease. Okay, so that's all worked into my crease. Especially with the Anastasia shadows, they're very pigmented, so I like to work and layer it up. You don't want to, you know, put a bunch on there because it's going to be harder to move around. So to get the best blend, I would suggest, you know, dipping it once, blend, dip, blend, so on. Okay, next I'm going to go into the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette, and I'm going to take this kind of deeper magenta-ish shade, Zobo. I'm going to take this same brush, and then I'm just going to work it kind of really inside the crease. I'm not going to go as high as I did with Supreme. So for this, because I'm trying to get really just deeper into the crease and not going as high, I'm using a little bit more windshield wiper motions, a little bit of, you know, circle swirly like I did before, but just keeping it very tight in there. Okay, so now that that is in there, I'm going back into the Anastasia palette, and I'm going to take the shade Pinker right here. I'm sticking with the same brush again, and then I'm just going to kind of tap it on the very outer corner of my lid, and then I'm just going to bring it in slightly, but keeping it focused on the outer corner. So like I said, I'm really just tapping it, and then I'm doing the little circular motions to keep it right there. Okay, so the shade Pinker is there, and I'm just going to take Supreme again and just blend everything out. And when you're going back in with the base shade to blend everything out, you want to really be careful to use a light hand, because it could look a little bit muddy if you get, you know, super heavy-handed with it, and then, you know, there's a bunch up here like near the brow line. So just a little tap and then brush. And you probably just want to tap it once, you know, each eye, and then with, you know, whatever's left on your brush, then just keep blending. Okay, now that everything is all blended out, I'm going to take another Anastasia palette. This is the Carly Bible palette. And first I'm going to take the shade Aura, and I'm just going to use my finger to put this on the outer portion of my lid. So I'm just kind of using a tapping motion, and then I'm bringing it, I'm starting on the outside and then bringing it about halfway, a little more than halfway through the lid. Okay, this is what that is looking like. And now I'm gonna stay in the Carly Bible palette, and I'm going to take the shade Jode right here, and then I'm going to put that on the lid, that anywhere where I didn't put Aura, so just like this inner part of the lid. So I'm taking it on my finger, and then I'm tapping it on the like completely shadow-free inside of the lid, and then after that, once I've put it all there, I'm just gonna tap over right here where the two meet. Okay, so this is how it looks. I'll come in closer. And then again, I'm just taking the same brush that I've been using. I'm not going to put anything additional on it, and I'm just going to blend so that, you know, any of the sparkle that kind of got in the crease, that kind of just wipes it away. Okay. So now the lids are done, and we can move on to the lower lash line. So going back, taking the same shade Supreme, which was the base shade for the crease. Okay, so I'm going to take this small little fluffy brush right here. I've had this for years, honestly, so I don't know where it came from, I'm sorry. But again, like I said, taking Supreme, and then I'm gonna kind of keep it near the lash line, but I'm gonna drag it down a little so that it's a little more blown out and smoky. So my eye is surrounded by berry. Okay, so I have that on the lower lash line, and I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. Instead of doing eyeliner, I'm going to go back into the Carly Bible palette, and I'm going to take this darker blue shade right next to the one that we put on the inner part of the lid, and then I'm taking another one of my Sonia Kashuk brushes. This one is just a little tiny pencil brush, and I'm going to take OA, and then I'm just going to kind of take it from about like right next to my lash line, from about where the blue ends, and then wane it out a little bit. Okay, so that is done. It's a little more subtle than what I was going for, so I'm going to grab another darker blue shade. Okay, so this is the Anastasia Prism palette, and I'm going to take this darker blue shade here, and then I'm going to take it on this little angled brush. This came with the Milani brow kit, I think, with the Milani brow pomade. So I just got that at CVS. So I'm taking it on the brush, and then I'm going to go just on the outer part of the lash line. And then go over the wing. Okay, so that darkened it up a little bit. You can see the wings a little more. I'll come in. So that is how it's looking, and I think we're done with shadows. So now I'm just gonna throw on some mascara. I'm going to use this Essence Lash Princess mascara. This is, they all come in different colors. So this is the green one, which is the False Lash Effect mascara. Okay, so this is one eye with mascara. As you can see, my lashes look like super long right now. That's actually because yesterday I permed and tinted my lashes, which I filmed, so that video will also be coming out. Okay, mascara is done. I actually forgot to do this before my mascara, so I'm going to tightline my eyes. So I'm taking this little brush with the Maybelline Eye Studio, and this is just their gel black liner. So it looks like this. And then I'm just going to look up and then go in my tight line, and then this will just kind of close the gap between your eye and where your mascara is, and it makes your lashes look a lot fuller. So now on to the final step, which is the lipstick, which this whole look is based around. So it's a liquid lip, so I'm just going to kind of go on my lower lip and then press them together and then get my Cupid's bow and anywhere that it didn't get by pressing them together. Okay, so my lipstick is on, but I realized that I totally forgot to do an inner corner highlight, so I'm going to take this flathead brush with the Anastasia Aurora Glow Kit, and then I'm going to take the blue shade, which is Orion, and then put that on the inner corner. And then super fast, I'm going to go back with my highlight brush, take the same blue Orion shade, and just tiny bit on like the very highest part of my cheekbone. And then a tiny bit, I didn't dip it back in, I just, whatever's left on the bridge of my nose. Okay, so now the makeup is completely done. I hope you liked the video and that it was helpful to you. I know that I said I'm doing makeup on a budget and I used a few Anastasia and Urban Decay products. I promise you it will not always be like that. That just happened to me today. I do have a weakness for palettes though, so I do splurge on those sometimes. Also, a little shout out to my Auntie Sarah and Mimi for supplying a lot of my palettes on birthdays and Christmas. So, but I do have a lot of ColourPop and other brands that I have ready for videos for you. So, really quickly, I wanted to talk about the lipstick again, which is from the brand Lipslut. They donate, I believe it's 50% of their proceeds to different organizations like Planned Parenthood and Emily's List. Also, depending on what's going on in the world, they also donate to other things like Black Lives Matter. And then also sometimes you can vote on where the money goes to, which is really cool. So I will link everything in the description down below if you're interested in anything. Again, I really hope you enjoyed the video and like and subscribe. Thank you!